For the band?
All rise, I guess, and we'll call the meeting to order and we'll do the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
You want,
Want to change, we want to do a couple changes on the agenda.
Oh, what are they?
3 and 4, Brian would like to put to action so we can discuss them.
what's that?
Take 3 and 4 off the consent agenda and put it on to action,
Oh, okay.
Okay,
because he wants to talk about it a little bit, or,
all right.
right?
Okay, anything else?
That should be it.
Okay, motion to approve with those changes?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Previous board minutes from July 7th.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from July 7th.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Work group session.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment.
Abstain, I should have abstained,
You weren't
I
here?
wasn't here, so.
You did abstain. I heard it. The
Public
abstain
comment.
spirit. Abstain.
No public comment. Appointments. We got 3 minutes before 9:05. We could do the consent agenda, then we only got 2 items on there. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
There's been a motion to approve. How about a second?
I'll second it with a big thank you to Tammy for
Absolutely.
31 and a half years of service. It's a pretty big accomplishment here.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Dittos to
Thank you very
that.
much.
Exactly.
She's been a good
Longtime employee.
good employee for the county over the years and going out and talking to landowners when they're surveying and helping with the auditor's office on parcel splits. It'll be a big loss with her knowledge, so.
Be hard to replace her. All right, so we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda is good. What do we got for the first item of the action? Well, we could do that. First one on the action items, consider accepting a $500 from Workforce Development, Houston County Child Care Core Team to be used for Super Saturday training events for child care providers scheduled for September 26th. Bethany.
Yes, so Lauren Solom, our licensor, is planning the Super Saturday Day event here in Houston County. The DCYF staff have limited time where they can come out to counties and provide training. And so she has opened this training up to our entire region and a few counties outside of the region to try to train as many childcare providers as possible. And the core team in Houston County was generous enough to provide $500 to help fund this event. So we'll be getting some door prizes, some food, to try to entice some providers to come and get this training locally and all in one day.
Excellent.
Well, it's a good thing this is a good thing to do.
Yes.
To help their local providers.
Yeah, we will have DCYF there, the state fire marshal. Providers can bring their fire extinguisher to be checked. The ombuds person will be here and the Wayfinder navigator. So she's bringing quite a few resources to Houston County that day.
That's great.
Awesome. Good job.
I hope you have a good turnout.
Hope so. It's a little low right now, but I know people like to wait till the last minute and register, so we're hoping that number grows.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, let's do this last one here, number 2 for starters, approving a $17,000 speaker upgrade for the historic courthouse for the due stress system.
Yeah, so this kind of came into light through our safety committee this last spring. In safety committee, we were talking about having some tornado drills. And so we were gonna surprise people with some tornado drills, and we found out that our speakers no longer work. So all of our.
Yelling? or-
Yeah. So our speakers, the ones in here work, but the ones in the hallways that have our duress system tied to it no longer works. So we had Andy from IT start looking about what it would take to replace those with new speakers and amps. And it's totaling about a $17,000 replacement. We have, Carol says she's identified a source for that, to where it could be paid for. And so this would be kind of a recommendation from a safety committee to look at replacing these.
I asked Carol 4 times throughout the meeting if we had the funds for that. I can assure you, she said yes.
It's a safety issue. and
Yeah.
that is kind of priority.
Yep.
So I'm just curious, is this something that is required, or is it just an extra thing to do? I mean, because we get alerts over the computers, right?
Yeah, if they're open and you're in
Right.
your office, but if
Right.
you're not in your office.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then it'll also like have active shooter type warnings and things
Yep.
of that nature.
It is,
over on
that
those.
is, internal speaker system is a big deal,
Yep,
and it can't just sit there and crackle.
yep,
And Andy did indicate that it would be something they would do in-house. They wouldn't be hiring out to,
oh, okay,
it would be done in-house.
yeah.
Okay.
And he did his research on it. I thought he did a great job with that, and I fully support that, because it is a safety issue and our people that work here are very important, so we need to keep them safe. So therefore, I am recommending that, and we can have more discussion, but I will make the motion to purchase that.
Okay, we got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you,
All
everyone.
right, now we'll go back to our 9:05 HVMHC Mobile Crisis Response presentation.
You guys just want us up here?
Yep, come right up front, please.
Hi, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
Well, we're just here to just kind of spread the word about our crisis mobile team and what our crisis mobile team has to offer. I'm sure you've all heard of 988, the crisis line, which is a crisis line that's used for people that are having a mental health crisis. And we are out just trying to get the word out to anyone we can that can use our services, and hopefully you guys will get the word out too, is what we're hoping for. So I don't know if you want to just kind of maybe explain a little bit, kind of the premise and the background and kind of how it works and how you can use us, if that's cool.
So just to break down the 988 crisis line, when people call in, they get put to a hub or like a dispatch center, and they get screened questions. If you have thoughts of suicidality, if you know somebody who does, and then they determine whether or not an in-person responder comes, and that would be, I'm the Houston daytime responder, and then we have nighttime as well. Once we get out there, we do a crisis assessment, and that's when we determine whether or not the people need to go to the ER or if they can remain at home, and then we just safety plan. And then we make referrals based off of that determination, if they need to be moved on to more mental health services within the community. And then we place those referrals. So, yeah.
So what we are hoping is that the word gets out, like we present at schools, we present at county meetings, we are contracted by 5 counties, which would be Fillmore, Houston, Winona, Wabasha, Goodhue, to provide mobile crisis team to actually go out and real time and go meet with these folks to, you know, the whole goal is hopefully prevent them from having to go to a higher level of care, to use the resources that we can, you know, so we don't have to send them to the hospital, so the police aren't involved. We try to, that's kind of our goal, is to try to help them where they're at and get them the resources that they need without having to use those other resources. Of course, that doesn't always happen, so sometimes the police will call us several times and have us co-respond, and that seems to work very well. Sometimes we have to call the police to back up for us if it seems to be kind of a dicey situation. You know, we're reported there's weapons or anything like an active threat. But that's kind of our whole goal. We don't stop at just someone calling the crisis line and using our services in that moment. If there is a higher need for long-term mental health services, we will provide stabilization services, which is kind of a fill gap. So they're not just kind of, we go there, it's dropped. We offer another service, which is not free. I mean, someone's paying for it, but it's through our grant. So it's not really an expense to the clients that we serve. And that fill gap is us having people go out and meet with this client once or twice a week and get them connected with any services they need. Sometimes it's as simple as filling out certain paperwork. It's helping them get scheduled with a psychiatrist, maybe getting into treatment somewhere. It could be, I mean, just it's an array of things that is causing distress. A lot of times it's homelessness. So that's kind of what our whole mission is, and what we do. Sounds easy, but it's not.
No, I'm sure not.
It's not easy, but yeah, I mean, the concept's easy, right? The concept's really easy, but once you show up, I'm sure just like the officer knows, every time you show up, you just don't know what you're gonna get. But we've been pretty successful and pretty proud of the work that we've been doing, and just want more people to use the resource if they can.
So remind me, so that's your follow-up? You do follow up with
Every
someone?
call we follow up. We also connect with the counties to see if there's any resources within, you know, human resources that we can use. Because, you know, sometimes they're already connected to the county, sometimes they're not. And so it's a way for us to connect those resources to the client too.
And a lot of times, most of the clients just don't even know what services are offered for their county.
Sure.
So we kind of bridge that gap.
A lot of times, the calls are the first time. I mean, they're in high distress, obviously, but have never reached out to anything else or anyone else. And so it's, sometimes those are easier for us, because then we were like, oh, we can get you a counselor, we can do da-da-da-da, you know. And so then I think sometimes there's just relief in having someone that can help them do that when, I don't know, I mean, when you're very stressed out, it's really hard to make some solid, clear decisions. So that's where we try to help as much as we can.
And you mentioned you go to schools, and there's a lot of events, I know, that you give information. Is that also available? Where is it available in the schools, like through counselor's office, nursing?
Well, when we do presentations, so there'll be presentations where there'll be like suicide awareness, and then they'll have presentations there. We will be a support and also do presentations to the students, mostly to the staff to present to their students. And then, so we'll try to get the word out that way. We'll also be a support. We've been a support, and I mean, I guess this is another thing about like, we'll be a support in places where people are grieving because there was an incident where maybe someone had committed suicide, a student or something like that, or a death of a faculty, or recently we just did support in Wabasha due to the drownings that happened because of the boat accident. So we kind of do a little bit more than just our crisis call. We'll go out and try to support the communities as much as we can and just be available when needed. When in doubt, call us and ask, hey, is this something you guys could support us with? And we'll be like, pretty sure we can. So.
Have you ever worked with any of these people, Kurt, on any of your calls?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure have.
I'm working with one right now. Yes. Very intense family.
Do you guys have a booth at all for the upcoming fair or work?
That's a good question. Usually we do. We have a lot of events, but I will have to talk to our marketing person and find out, and if there's any other events that you think would be good. We have really been trying to get the information out to more of the agricultural community, which has been tough. Because everyone's obviously spread out but trying to get in contact and work with that community as much as we can, both in Houston and Fillmore County. Just because it's so rural. I mean, all the counties are rural, but I mean, they're very rural, but just, and the resources are a little bit more limited because it's so rural that we're trying to reach out to those communities. So if there's any feedback we can get on how to contact or reach out to those communities, that'd be great.
County fair, do you participate in the county fairs?
Once again, I don't know. We have a marketing
That's what he said.
department that
I
does
just said
that.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think those are really good places to get,
Yeah.
especially in communities like, all the communities are good to get at the county fair. We're trying to talk our marketing people into getting into the parades, but he's like, we don't have that much time.
We should come up to the grill out up at the pool, your family night out.
So we have National Night Out, the first Monday of August. That'd be a good place to hang
Yes.
out.
I was thinking about that, but is there a place where a lot of people gather? Because
I
usually.
don't know, there's about 800
So
Yeah.
where do they gather then for that?
at the swimming pool,
Oh, at the swimming pool.
the
Okay.
pool park, Veterans Park, the parking lot,
We can just set up a
playground.
booth there?
You can.
Awesome,
Same way with La Crescent.
awesome.
Crescent has National Night Out. I don't
Yep.
remember the date. I know it's
Probably
coming
same
up.
night, ain't they usually?
First Monday in August.
It's always the same night. So you might have different areas. Yeah.
Solid effort on your part right there. National Night Out.
Can you both also introduce yourselves personally
Oh,
for
yes.
the record of the board?
So,
I'm the clinical supervisor for the crisis mobile team, 5 counties. Like I said, we're
What's your name?
Dina Robinson, employed by Hiawatha Valley Mental Health.
and I'm Whitney Vance. I'm the daytime crisis responder for Houston.
Sometimes if you look at, if you're looking for rural health help, like farm organizations like Farm Bureau and like Farmers Union and many other ones that they've got their eye on that too and looking at, for mental health in the rural farming areas, communities. Sometimes if you could get maybe you could be partner with them in somehow, some way to help out, so.
I have presented to teenagers that have been, not long ago, teenagers that were having some training for.
FFA.
Yeah, the FFA, that's
Yeah,
it.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm trying to get the word out as much as we can.
Right.
And then spread our swag everywhere we can, but.
Yep.
And I was just at the board meeting last night for Hiawatha Valley, and September 10th is Bringing Light into Darkness, true, right? So that's a big event. I think they're even having a band, and it's like a 5-hour event that evening
Yep.
in Winona.
Yep, it's usually in the back parking lot area of the building, so.
I would hit the Houston County Fair if I was you guys.
That'll be on our docket then. Is there anyone in particular we should contact?
Go to their website.
Just go to the website, okay.
I don't know who the secretary treasurer is right now. Usually fields phone calls.
What did they charge Allison for a booth? Do you remember?
Jordan may know. Do you know how much they
Sure.
charge for a booth, Jordan?
A fair
The
booth?
fair?
The fair?
That was gonna be my guess, $50 to $75.
Brian?
I don't think,
Just put it on our tab.
Does anyone know?
That's okay, that's a guess.
somebody will help you.
You can find out.
Go to the website.
Go to their website and somebody will get in touch.
That information is actually probably on the website.
We're on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Before you go, I do want to shout out to Whitney. She was my dispatcher in my previous life.
Oh,
She would send me
wow.
on many calls and a phenomenal dispatcher. So thank
She's
you.
a phenomenal crisis person too. She's in her groove. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
Small world.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
Thanks.
Okay, now we'll move on to action item number 3. That would be Brian, a cooperative agreement between the city of La Crescent and Houston County for the reconstruction of the county aid highway, 6th and 7th Street in La Crescent.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Yes, when this got put on the agenda, it was very hectic around our office as we've been dealing with flood stuff, so the disaster stuff. We're had our meeting with HSEM yesterday, so now we're into fully the repair stage. We're done with the upfront documentation stuff. So this first item, then, the cooperative agreement between the city of La Crescent and Houston County. This agreement is based on a template that Houston County uses with other municipalities. There's been one primary change from a typical agreement, and that is language regarding maintenance of post-construction. And we typically have that in the cooperative agreement. In this case, it was removed because we've been having other discussions with La Crescent on long-term maintenance of facilities all around the city. La Crescent would like to address that in the future as kind of the League of Minnesota Cities Engineers Association, or City Engineers Association of Minnesota and Minnesota County Engineers Association works out kind of guidance on who should be maintaining what aspects and who should be paying for what aspects. So that was purposely left out of this agreement just because we have ongoing things around the city. So they did not want to put that into this agreement, so that was left out. The project has been bid out. The city approved a contract 2 weeks ago, I believe. And then this last Monday, the city approved this cooperative agreement. I got a notice yesterday that the pre-construction meeting with the contractors on Wednesday. So I will say this agreement is way behind where I would like to see this done. I would like to have this agreement put into place months ago. La Crescent has been really good here in the last couple months as far as communicating with me and getting stuff over to me. In some ways, I've been the one that's been failing to get back to them in a timely manner just because we're dealing with the flood stuff. But this agreement is just timing. City approved it last Monday, so that's why this is coming so late. I will know more here on Thursday what the contractors' plans are for start date. Any changes that I wanted to have within this contract besides for the maintenance stuff, they've been good to work with. The plans have been updated to address concerns that the county had. So everything should be good to go on this project once this agreement's approved.
Motion to approve.
Second.
So Houston just signed one of these agreements for County 13.
Yes.
And they agreed to do the maintenance, right?
Yes, like maintenance of
Why,
sidewalks
why
and
would La
stuff.
Crescent be treated any different?
We have, from a county, we've been trying to have them be treated the same as every other city.
Yeah, we should.
And
Caledonia is the same way.
Absolutely,
Spring Grove is the same way.
yes.
I thought you just said that what we were talking about, though, is that maintenance agreement is separate. There will be a maintenance agreement.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, my goal ultimately is to treat them the same, and ultimately, I mean, maybe how the county deals with every other city is different than what we currently do. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think ultimately what's going to happen is that the city engineers and the county engineers are going to decide that what typically is being done by cities should be done by cities. It's just with how statutes are set up and how staffing is and the issues that we have, some of these discrepancies on are typically, a lot of times they're being done by the city. So I don't see it really changing. The city did not want to put something in this policy that kind of starts defining something that every other prior agreement with La Crescent has had this type of stuff left out. I've went back to past agreements, and it's part of my frustration, to be honest, of how I've dealt with them in different areas, because there is nothing that defines maintenance in past agreements.
And that's why we came up with a new policy to define that. And we voted to approve that. I believe it was a 5-0 vote to approve the new new agreement policy. And so I understand La Crescent probably isn't happy with that, but I mean, we need to, I think we just need to make sure that we treat all our cities the same as far as,
Yep, so the county approved.
one shouldn't get an advantage over the other.
Correct, I absolutely agree. Yep. Yes, the county talked about, approved an agreement on trees, but I don't think there was anything that was talked about with sidewalks and curb and gutter maintenance and other type of aspects. So this will be, all stuff, not just trees. And this project does not have any new tree plantings. So it's primarily
curb and gutter and sidewalks, right?
primarily the stuff that was left out is maintenance of sidewalks. And then.
That should remain city.
And it does have maintenance in here regarding the, underground infrastructure for the sanitary sewer water main. Any damage caused by maintenance of those is the city's responsibility. But dealing with specifically sidewalks and trees are the main two things that are basically left out for the maintenance of this. Every other community does maintain sidewalks. La Crescent's, we keep pushing that back and forth as far as who's responsible for different sections. So that's really the big thing of maintenance. I would have liked to have had that in here.
But that'll get brought as a separate issue to us at some point soon.
My guess is that it's probably gonna be a couple of years before everything gets worked out fully between the counties and the city engineers. So I don't think it's gonna be super quickly. At the same time, when you come to sidewalk maintenance, anything that gets put in this year on sidewalks, hopefully it doesn't need to be touched as far as replacing panels or that type of stuff for several years. We haven't had issues with people removing snow from sidewalks. The city has some enforcement authority that way to make sure that gets done. So it's getting into that, replacing panels that are cracked or heaving or, that type of stuff.
The other agreements that the other cities have, do they have that included in there with the sidewalk and trees?
They do.
So do you think it's a good idea to have this one done, being the other ones have that in there?
I absolutely would like to have that in here. From my discussions with city staff and their engineering consultant, is they would not agree to keep that in there. Ultimately, the city's paying for everything with this project, but they do need to work in our right of way. So without this agreement, they cannot work. If we don't approve this and say, hey, your only way you're gonna get this approved is if you put that back in, I can tell them on Wednesday.
In the past, we've had issues with trees and things like that, so it just kind of seems important to me.
Well, I mean,
That's an overall agreement. This is a project agreement, is the way I looked at it. This is what they approved, is a project agreement. This is a co-op agreement for this project.
with one thing left out, that the city of Houston did for County 13 project, it was all in there. They didn't get 2 years to negotiate something different on this one specific thing.
Yep, and La Crescent, Spring Grove, and Eitzen, all those projects, they typically do say that the city is responsible 100% for maintenance of sidewalks. And in this case, there's no trees on this project, so that wouldn't have been necessarily in this agreement.
So what's the hangup then? It's just,
They don't want to approve that they're gonna maintain that section of sidewalk. They wanna have that be dealt with on a bigger citywide basis on all the streets rather than this one. Like I said, ultimately, if the county board doesn't wanna approve it without that in it, we can deny it or approve it contingent upon it being added and go back to the city. And at Thursday's pre-construction meeting, I just tell the city, you don't have approval to proceed until this is approved by the city that you're gonna maintain the sidewalk. It puts them in a bad spot.
So this is damages, 100% of the damages to the roadway caused by city utility maintenance. So we're talking about maintenance in general, once again?
It's primarily the maintenance of the sidewalk because the county maintains the road surface.
I'm gonna stick to it because this is a project agreement. This is not an overall, what I understood from those previous discussions, with La Crescent is that was, for an overall agreement for city street curbing maintenance, but not, for this project, what's being covered is the actual build-out of the project. That's basically underway.
But to understand, Houston, Spring Grove, Caledonia is in their build-out project. For the project, it's in there.
We don't have any agreements with cities for overall for all the county roads through town. We don't have agreements with each of those cities saying
For certain projects
that
that
you
come
are,
up.
yep, as projects
Like
come
County
up.
13.
So my Caledonia project's gonna be on South Winnebago.
Yep,
Is the sidewalk maintenance agreement in there?
yes, that part's in there. The last agreement we had with Caledonia, which was on County 3, it was in there on that.
Okay.
So we typically do put it in the
And
project.
Spring Grove's
specific
project, was it in there?
Yes.
For the
That's for
project?
ongoing maintenance, not the actual maintenance for the project.
Correct.
Maintenance for the project. What do you mean by it?
That's what-
It's a project that, the build of the project.
Yeah, and so is this one. That's what that says on J.
Yes.
My only concern is that it's different than what the other cities have.
I'd like to see it side by side then, because I don't necessarily think that there's that much difference in these two, in the agreements. Future damages to the roadway caused by city utility maintenance. Is that what those agreements say?
I will pull up the exact language if I can get it right here real quick.
Sue, do you have any thoughts?
I have not seen this.
Okay.
Because, and then the section that says the county has responsibilities for reviewing and approval and becoming an additional insurer to this contractor, but it does not say anything about the county doing maintenance on this.
Yeah, so the typical language here. So typical language reads something like this as I pulled up the 13 job. Routine maintenance of storm sewer, curb and gutter, water and sanitary sewer lines, boulevard vegetation, and sidewalk. Routine maintenance generally includes but is not limited to vegetation control, snow debris removal, spot repairs, or related activities as applicable.
That's the part they want.
That is the part that has been removed, so it's considered that routine maintenance.
That covers quite a bit.
It absolutely does.
Well, what do we got? We got a motion and a second.
I rescinded
We're in
my
discussion.
I'm rescinding my second.
He's not seconding it.
You're gonna rescind
You
your
need to
second?
follow everybody else's.
Okay, so now we do not have a second. Still have a motion, first one or not? Or are you gonna rescind your motion?
No, it stands.
Okay, so,
Call for another second.
okay,
Doesn't have a second.
can we get anybody interested in seconding this one? Anybody interested in seconding this one? Okay, due to no second, I guess it gets dropped for now, Brian.
Do you want me to go back to the city, have them, bring it back to the city council and try to get it reapproved with that language as I read for that routine maintenance? Or would the county prefer to potentially have a motion and approve the agreement as presented today with this line K added back in and put the city approval or the county approval first and then see if
I'll
the city
make
goes
that
back.
motion to put it back in.
You want me to read that language again, word for word? Sure. For the record,
So you're gonna amend the cooperative agreement with,
So to go back to the original agreement
That was the La Crescent agreement or just the?
this is the City of Houston agreement, but it is essentially the template language that we
exactly.
typically put in
Okay.
all of our agreements.
So
So
you're,
have we had that with La Crescent? I'm just asking the question
La
of,
Crescent agreements, anything I could find with them, always had, anything related with maintenance is not in it.
so we're
And
not
that's
going back
part of the
to a
ongoing-
previous agreement with La Crescent?
No, we're going back to our
Correct,
original.
I think the last agreement with La Crescent was in 2006. There's just not a whole lot of projects going on in La Crescent on the county road system. And that agreement, actually, I think on that one, we couldn't even find an agreement on that project.
So I'm just saying that then it's, if we say that we're going back to the original agreement, that's not necessarily true.
We're going back to,
I'll rephrase that. I'll make a motion to submit our policy agreement when it comes to projects like this that we've done for other cities. And it's a policy that we just adopted not too long ago, right?
but we adopted the policy on trees. We didn't adopt anything on the blanket overall maintenance. But this is something that we typically have in all of our agreements, I would say probably since back when I started at the county or prior. So that's the same language or similar language that the county's had for 20-plus years.
The Boulevard Tree Agreement.
so your motion, Eric, could be to approve this pending that they add in the language that Brian is going to read,
Yep,
like the other cities have.
yep, that's what it is.
Well put.
Thank you. That's what my motion will be.
And I can send you this language too, so that way you don't need to write it all down. But what the language does say is routine maintenance of storm sewer, curb and gutter, water and sanitary sewer lines, boulevard vegetation, and sidewalk. Routine maintenance generally includes, but is not limited to vegetation control, snow/debris removal, spot repairs, or related activities as applicable. And one of the things that I will comment on that is, I think originally it didn't have routine maintenance, but we wanted it to be a little bit more specific because really it's routine maintenance. You get to a certain point and it's beyond routine. It gets into major repair.
When it gets to be something major, sure, we're gonna have a discussion.
So this is essentially, it's that routine stuff to, get through the expected life of those type of facilities.
Okay, we got a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
I just want to reiterate, it's the same thing that we did for the city of Houston.
Well, if you're gonna keep everybody on
It's
the same.
consistent that way.
In all cities. Do we have it for all cities?
All cities are the same.
Caledonia? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, number 4, approve T-Hanger release agreements for the airport.
Yep, so at the T-Hanger, we're still working, trying to get a date with the contractor on when this is gonna be completed. They've been telling us, August 1st. I went out to the site last Friday, I walked around, looked at some stuff, and, I know our consultant's been talking to them, over the last few weeks. It is gonna be difficult for them to get it completed by August 1st, but that is still the goal that we're shooting for, so. So these 3 agreements, one of them is with Alan Schultz. This would be a new plane based at the airport that is, so it'll increase our number of based aircraft. Russell Kinneberg's, Russell owns a hangar on the front row, but he does not have a plane based in it of his own at this point. This agreement, he would have his plane be based at Houston County instead of based at his current airport up north of here in Minnesota. And then the third agreement is Howard Dieters. Howard Dieters has a plane in the front row. It is, he subleases from the Red Baron Flyers. So instead of subleasing from Red Barons, he will be getting his own hangar. And I've had some discussion with both Howard and Red Barons as far as that. So everyone's aware that he's going to have his own hangar and not be subleased through Red Barons. So, so this will increase our base aircraft by 2 planes if these 3 agreements are approved. When I look at who is on our waiting list, updating from Red Baron Flyers, they're looking at, it will not be, they currently own 4 hangars on the front row. They're looking at leasing less than 4. So we do have space to add a hangar from Alan Schultz. And actually, I do have another person that has signed a lease agreement that's been submitted to me, no payment, for another base aircraft to be added at the airport. So it is looking like we're going to gain a few planes, and potentially even one more beyond that. One of Red Baron's current subleases are going to probably be pulling their plane out here in the next month. So, you know, net though, we're looking at having a gain of a few planes. But so the document that was submitted for the board packet, that is, it's a readable PDF file that was, you know, created in-house. We do have the documents back that has the signatures on it from these 3 individuals. They have submitted payment in the amount of 11 months, so it's $1,650. Payment has been submitted to the county, so we're holding on to those checks at this point. They've submitted their other insurance document and the other parts to be completed on the forms. So everything should be good to go, and they're ready to move in as soon as the hangar's ready.
I'll make a motion to approve the T-hangar agreements.
We got a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
So I'm just curious, why is Russell's plane not here now? Is it wasn't big enough, the hangar we have?
He's up in the
No,
city.
he has just where he lives, he has, essentially he's living up in a different place. His dad's down here, so his plane kind of flies back and forth a lot, so it's going both ways.
Could eventually be moving here.
Yeah, so when,
Gonna permanently get it here then, no?
I mean, his plane's still gonna be moving back and forth between the airports, so it's not gonna be here 100% of the time. But ultimately, when the plane gets used at multiple locations, kind of the pilot can decide where they want to have it based out of, depending on how much it's at each location. His ultimate plan, his goal is to be down in Houston County full-time in the future. It's just not at that point quite yet for him, but
It's a good thing for us.
No, I'm appreciate the fact that we're gonna gain a couple planes here. That's what our goal was when we built this, so.
Yep.
Yeah, his
So
dad,
that'll-
Glenn, he's up to over 100 years old, so he wants to come down and maybe live here eventually.
Okay, so that leaves us with how many hangars left open? That,
One, right?
Well, so Red Barons are talking about either getting two or three hangars. So then we'd have Glenn, Howard, and Allen, so that's 3, so that leaves
there's 8.
2 more beyond, yeah, so that leaves 2 more beyond that. I do have a check from an individual that would be a new personal plane. He's already, he submitted the signed lease. He hasn't submitted a check. They want to make sure we have a spot for him because he was not the next person on the waiting list. And at that time, I didn't know if Red Barons were going to want to have 4 hangars if they had the 4 planes to fill them. Now I'm hearing that they're going to have 3, so we do have a spot for that individual. So I was going to call him back up here after this board meeting and say, get us a check. We can get you on the board agenda for approval here in the next week or 2. So that'll be a new plane there. I do have another individual, a few more that don't have planes, that are interested in getting planes, that don't have them yet. And then there's one other one that, very interested, has a plane based at a different airport. He's looking at buying a second plane and having that second plane be based here. So
Essentially, looks pretty good to fill all of them.
we should, I would say very likely we'll have 7 out of the 8 filled right away, hopefully all 8 here in the next few months. So it's really looking good.
Outstanding.
So we have an 11-month lease on this, and then it will be a 12-month lease next year? Because it's August 1st and not July 1st, right?
Correct.
That they're
Yep.
signing?
Yep,
Okay.
that puts us onto the same schedule as far as when the end date of the leases are for these rental units as the other ones that are renting the land for the second, third row.
Okay.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, coordinator updates. Let's do that one quick.
Yeah, so just kind of a few updates. Still working on some capital improvement plans with some through the departments. Right now, working with kind of the bigger departments first. Obviously, the highway department has the most items, and then also the sheriff's office, and then IT, kind of working through them. And then after that, I'll go to the other departments and kind of start working out what a 5-year view looks for them as far as like significant purchases that may be coming in the near future. Also, kind of still working on the strategic planning. Obviously, the last department head meeting, I was not there, so this department head meeting will start that process. So putting stuff together for that. And then also board procedures, getting some rough draft put together to have to you prior to the next work session. So we can kind of go over what rough draft looks like at the work session. Probably missing something else, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Yeah, that's all that I have at this moment.
I forgot to do number 5, review and approve payments.
And
That was on,
That we did.
that was
that.
on consent
Is that
agenda.
on the consent?
Yeah, we did that.
We did that already,
Yeah.
consent agenda.
Okay, sorry about that.
Who the hell is that one at?
All right, well, before we do the board chair and the rest of us, why don't we do our closed session? So if we want to discuss something after the closed session, we can.
Okay.
Is that all right with you guys, or?
I guess so.
I don't,
Usually we finish.
Okay. You can just finish these if you
Why
want.
don't we just finish
Let's
these?
just finish these and then we'll do it.
okay, well, it doesn't matter, we can do the whole meeting and then go into it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Board chair, I haven't really got too much going on. I guess I had a couple questions about an application they're applying for building a house. I got that kind of answered, so I don't have much else. Well, you,
Nope, nothing out of the ordinary this week.
Kurt?
Public health meeting, we talked, again about, on case-by-case scenario about working remote. When they have appointments come up, this wouldn't be anything new. They use their computers in the field anyway. So I think it's a meeting that, Brent and Andy and, somebody, those two for sure, but I mean, maybe personnel too, but I did get an email. Did you guys see that email from Luke about
Yeah.
opening his computer up at home when he's had this and this going on with his dog and could have got 2-3 hours worth of work in, but no, he can't do that. I think as a department and department heads, we should be looking at that because it's not like a new concept.
There is a way to monitor when someone's actually working,
There is.
so.
You and I, well, Cindy, you were there, so yeah. And then, the safety meeting was very short and to the point, but, the speakers, which I appreciate all of you, that's a big deal. Safety of everybody's a big deal, so thank you for that. That's all I got right now.
Hey, Eric?
I've been in contact with SEMCAC and got on their list and want to have a meeting with her next, in August here in Rushford to just give an overview before we have our monthly meeting, so. Only other thing, I wasn't here for the work group session. But I did read the Argus article about what was discussed, and there's a little bit of concern that I shouldn't laugh at it because it's not funny, but about, there was a sentence in there about the county was doing something illegal, and that bothers me because I don't think that, we shouldn't be doing anything illegal. And I don't think we are. I just read that as a regular constituent thinking, well, what's going on? I mean,
That was the assessor discussion office.
right, right.
But they're
Yes.
talking about previous issues that weren't in compliance, right? Which is,
Well, it wasn't defined, that's the
Yes.
problem. So we need to figure that out, and I've talked to Brent about it, so, and we'll get it figured out. I just don't like the fact that it's brought up in the public that we're doing something illegal because don't have the right staff, and I feel we do have the right staff. We're staffed just like all the rest of the county, so it was just a poor choice of words, and I just wanted to make sure, to clarify, I don't think there's nothing technically illegal. That's all I got.
Cindy?
let's see, workforce development meeting I had, talked about collaboration with other groups. I had Bluff Country HRA. That's moving along with some of the home loans. And then last night I was at Hiawatha Valley Mental Health Board. It's always interesting because we discuss a lot of legislative issues, and one of the issues that was brought up also is a lot of the Medicaid reform and the cuts. Also, how there's been kind of a surge in having agencies and individuals lose their funding. And so now the state is trying to build that back because there's been individual licenses that have been revoked, basically, of care providers. And so now they had to apply to have them brought back. And we've heard that from our own health services area, not that the licenses are an issue, and also public health, but we have concerns about some of the local agencies not being able to provide services until the state comes back and either audits them or verifies that they are good to go. So I'm just making the point that it's kind of rampant with everybody else, too, not just the county. A lot of agencies are affected by what was done with the state funding on that.
Which stem from all the fraud.
Fraud, yep.
So
Yep.
that's what happens when there's extensive fraud. There has to be a statewide review, and that's who gets hurt, is the people who are legitimate, providing a legitimate service.
Yeah, unfortunately, they just,
Yep.
said no to everyone and then
Yep.
are adding
Make
it
it
back.
basically start over, yeah.
Clear the slate and,
Yep.
so anyway, but that was the discussion from that area. Otherwise, I'm good.
Okay, any closing public comment? Okay, at this time, I guess we'll have to go into a closed session.
Okay.
Somebody want to make a motion to go into closed session?
I'll make a motion to go into closed session under Minnesota statute 13D.105 subdivision 2.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, I guess we're going into closed session.
7:03, we came out of closed session. I made the motion and Kurt seconded it, and we all voted.
You ready for a statement?
Yep.
Following careful review of the documentation and materials presented after an extensive investigation, the Board of Commissioners found no evidence to support allegations against Coordinator Parker. We, as a board, support Coordinator Parker in his role as Coordinator HR Director.
Okay. All right. We did everybody's commissioners' reports. Don't look like there's much for closing public comment. Got any reminders, Allison or Brent, on all this stuff here that we need to know about?
One someone brought up. What was that?
SEMCAC open house for 60-year anniversary.
Wednesday tomorrow from 2 to 4.
All right.
Kurt's going to that.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
We can all go look, can't we?
If you want to, yep.
You absolutely can.
It's not a open house.
Okay.
We're good.
It's open house except you, Greg.
All right, before we adjourn, I'd like you guys to look this over. This is a letter I just got in the mail today from Polly. It's about the Pollution Control Agency, a stimulation agreement. I don't know what you guys think about that. Eric might know more about it since he's on the planning commission. Maybe you've heard something about this. It sounds like it's something to tie in with La Crescent, what we just had, but,
Oh, it's the MS4 thing?
well, it's something to do with pollution control, so would that be part of that?
Must be if it's tied in with La Crescent, MS4.
Already got your signature on the.
Yep.
It's
Well, it
your
looks
copy.
like, yeah, they already signed my name, and I was just kinda curious what I'm signing.
Yep, this was the stipulation agreement that we signed virtually that one day when we came.
Okay,
Yep, so this was after the audit and we went up and had the findings. The stipulation agreement basically sets into place that we are fixing all of these issues and it kind of has a path moving forward that we will stay compliant on that, so. That's,
something you wanna keep in your file?
yeah, yep, I can take this would be great. And what I can do also is make a copy and just send it out to everybody as well, so.
So you signed that a while back.
Brett and I did here, what, 2 weeks ago maybe?
Yeah, yep, they emailed it to me because it was electronic signature. And so I pulled it up and we walked through it and he clicked the little buttons
It's
to.
mandatory part of the MS4, so.
We tried to get them to send it and just have it signed,
Do
but
that.
No.
It's electronic.
All right, and if that's okay, then I guess we can maybe adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Jeez, what happened to Kurt?
Wait, go ahead, finish up.
Okay, we had a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Aye. Just wanted to make sure that was on record.
Wow.
What more do you want to talk about?
Wow.
One time